What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the pit stop. I'm your host, Connor Lasky, and yes, I'm back. I did not purposely miss a week because of Kevin Harvick getting kicked out of the playoffs. I know I had a few comments last week talking about, oh, it's funny now because Kevin Harvick's not in the playoffs. Yeah. I got it. All right. It is what it is. But you know what? I'm still a great NASCAR fan. I'm going to supply the information and the updates that we had from the playoffs coming outside of Texas. And of course, I'm going to go over a little bit on the Roval because I know that was, the week I missed because I was just really busy. I had a lot of schoolwork to get done. It was fall break for Clemson, so I just didn't have time. It wasn't because, my driver got screwed, whatever. But we're going to get into it, guys. Let's just get a little update. Kyle Larson did win yesterday at Texas. He just punched his ticket to the championship 4. So what a surprise, guys. The 5 is in the championship. Everybody predicted it. Not a surprise whatsoever. His car dominated Texas. I don't really think anybody was close to winning besides Larson and maybe William Byron, another Hendrick car. But hey, it was an interesting race, exciting race. We had a lot of wrecks. We definitely had a lot more wrecks than anticipated. A lot of playoff drivers got into incidents yesterday. We had Martin Truex Jr. in the wall. We had Joey Logano's engine blow up. We had Denny Hamlin rub the tire. He blew up the tire. There was a lot of stuff going on. But because of Kyle Larson winning the race, he ultimately moves on, gets a ticket in, and it looks like some of those guys that had incidents are below the cut line outside of I think Denny Hamlin. But we'll take a look at those standings in just a few minutes. But I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. Obviously, that was what happened yesterday at Texas Motor Speedway. I'm gonna backtrack a little bit since I didn't get to really give an update about what happened at the Roval. I know I posted some Instagram post about what took place between Kevin Harvick and Chase Elliott, but I never really got to get on the air and talk about what my personal opinion was about it. And you guys can call me biased, but hey, this is just my opinion. And I'm not saying it because I'm a Kevin Hart fan. This is just how I feel. This is just how I feel. In my opinion, Kevin Harvick, he messed up. He wrecked. It's just the way it was. I'm glad Chase didn't get to his bumper and he did it. I'm actually kind of glad that if he was going to wreck, let it be on Kevin Harvick's own mistake. I did not want it to be Chase Elliott getting back at him. I thought it was at least better for Harvick to wreck on his own. Hey, that's a hard turn to make. People were cheering and stuff, yeah, whatever, because Chase was coming from his rearview mirror, but that's a hard turn. We've seen from previous races at the Roval, Brad Keselowski and Chase Elliott missed that turn on restarts. It's a hard turn to make. Plus, the points were just so back and forth. Harvick was +1, -1, -2. I mean, it was so back and forth. He's driving his tail off. Okay, he's driving his tail off to get positions because he knows that's the only way he gets to move on. And then, yeah, you see the 9 in your mirror. You have to drive aggressively. You know he's coming. You know he's coming for payback, and you know that you need to get spots. You have to get those spots because you had Brad Keselowski in the back. Every time he got a spot, he was inching closer to the standings. So Harvick's driving like an animal. He's having to be aggressive. It's a common mistake. I mean, honestly, when I look back at it, it's like, yeah, like that's tough. Even for a championship driver like Kevin Harvick to make that turn driving that hard. I don't believe it was all because, oh, he saw Chase Elliott in his mirror, he was running away. No, this is aggressive driving to try to just get what he needed to do. And he was in the front battling cars that were good. It was a tough race for him. And it just didn't work out, It just did not work out. Chase Elliott was, you know, he won the. I guess you want to call he won the battle. He got to move on. Carver Hever didn't get to move on. Hey, whatever. You know, the whole thing is dumb in my opinion about how people are so against Harvick. It's like team chase. It's like it feels like 90% of NASCAR fans are team chase, and like the 10% are team Harvick. It's just team chase because Chase Elliott is the golden boy of NASCAR. Everybody loves Chase Elliott. He's the son of Bill Elliott. If this was anybody else, if this was Joey Logano versus Kevin Harvick, if this was Kyle Busch versus Kevin Harvick, this wouldn't be happening. I can tell you right now, people would be loving Harvick. It's because it's Chase Elliott. And, you guys can criticize me all you day you want. That's my opinion. It's because it's Chase Elliott. This was the same situation that we could go back, Chase Elliott versus Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin obviously was the one getting criticized 24/7. Yes, I will say in that situation, Denny Hamlin did get in the back of him at Martinsville. And I was even one of them that didn't like Denny Hamlin after that. I was. But sometimes I wonder if that Denny Hamlin situation was anybody else, it would have been different. But hey, it is what it is. No disrespect to Chase Elliott. He's a good driver. I mean, the fact that he ended up moving on after Roval when Kevin Harvick hit him in the back and got his payback from Bristol. I mean, I can't say I didn't call it. It was going to happen. Everybody knew it was going to happen. You can call Harvick whatever you want for doing that, but it was coming. Okay. It was coming. After Bristol, we saw, Talladega, with the rain and everything, he may not get a chance, but he got a chance at the Roval and he was going to do it. I mean, it's not surprising to me. He was going to do it. And honestly, I give props. I mean, good job, Chase Elliott and his team to get back together and fix that car that was beaten up, banged, pretty much half destroyed to get back on the track and still get into the playoffs. Yeah, good for him. That's impressive. Yeah, round of applause. Uh, that's good for him. It really wasn't Kevin Harvick's year anyways. It was just kind of a rough year for him and Stewart Haas Racing. They just didn't get what they needed to get done for the team. And I mean, you're talking about a guy who won 9, 10 races last year and didn't win a single race this year. So, hey, it is what it is. He made it this far to the round of 12, couldn't get to the 8 because, whatever reasons. But hopefully the beef is ended by this year. I don't know if it is or not. We saw some things go down already. Going into Texas, Kevin Harvick was interviewed about the situation, if it was over, the beef was over. And Kevin really just kind of flat out said, hey, I don't know why he's still worried about me. If he is, he needs to worry about getting his own car faster than the 5 car. So he's still throwing out some shots, but I don't really think he's going to do anything at this point. I really don't. I personally think it's over now. I think it is what it is, especially because NASCAR ended up getting involved after the Roval going into Texas. They called both teams and, you know, pretty much if anything else happens now, it's going to be fines and suspensions. So I personally don't think I think as far as wrecking each other and doing something, it's over. Uh, of course we see Kevin Harvick talking to an interviewer, still, saying whatever he wants to say and taking shots, but that's all talk. I personally think after the Roval, it's over. Same with Chase Elliott. He wanted to talk, merry off season after the Roval. Whatever. Hey, the talk will talk, but I personally think action wise on the track, I think it's over because the fact that NASCAR is now getting involved in this, yeah, you don't want to have the fines and the suspensions for next year. You just don't want to do that. Just let it go. It is what it is. I don't really care what you have to say about Kevin Harvick. He's this, because evidently everybody's on Chase Elliott's side, which it's whatever. It's because he's Chase Elliott, and I don't care what anybody else says. It's because he's him, and that's the way it goes. So, yeah, I just wanted to clear the air on that because I really never got on the podcast and voiced my opinion about it. And of course, all those people out there that think I'm a Harvick fan, I'm going to take Harvick's side. Hey, this is what it is. I'm just basing on my opinion. Hey, you guys can say whatever you want. I'm biased, whatever. I don't think I'm being biased. I think I'm being straight up. Hey, it's NASCAR. We live in this is a NASCAR sport. You have a young champion and an older champion. Okay, there's gonna and then you see what happens at Bristol. Hey, something's gonna come back. This is what actually gets fans involved. So I'm actually kind of glad it happened. I mean, obviously, my driver didn't end up on the right side of it, but it's fine. Like, I'm not worried. I'm not too upset about it anymore. It is what it is. But I'm not going to sit here and say that, oh, Harvick sucks and he's this and he's that. Hey, it's part of the sport. Okay, when you're racing around a track, week after week after week, and somebody gets into somebody, and there's this side and this side, of course this stuff's going to happen. It's just a matter of, what's the outcome. And yeah, Chase got the better outcome this time. I mean, it is what it is. But I'm not going to sit here and say, you know, screw him or screw him. No, no, we're not going to talk about that. We're here, guys. Hey, good job, Chase Elliott, for getting to the Roval. That was impressive. We'll see what happens next. Looks like his teammate Kyle Larson is definitely the best driver and has the best equipment. Even though they had the same equipment, it does seem like the 5 has an advantage with Hendrick. So I don't really understand what's going on there, because we saw how he dominated Texas, and Chase Elliott really never had a good chance to win. I mean, he was running top 10 but he still never had the chance. Like William Byron, if anybody had the better chance, but yeah, he's obviously kicked out of the playoffs as well. So, what to look forward to now is, heading into Kansas. It's going to get kind of crazy, y'all, because obviously, you got Larson, he's in. So, what's going to happen with the drivers that are still fighting there's 3 spots left to get into the championship for at Phoenix. So, with that being said, we're going to take a look at the standings, and we're going to go over to see who will move on at Kansas and Martinsville for the championship. I got them pulled up right here. So, as you can see, Kyle Larson with the checkered flag, that is his 8th win of the season. He's pretty much dominated the season, I feel like, especially somebody who just came back from a suspension. It's very impressive to see. I think he is the overall favorite to win, but you never know. I would be careful with Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch especially, and you never know. Martin Truex Jr., I mean, you just really never know. But as we got Kansas coming up, and we look at these standings here. It's pretty close. I mean, Ryan Blaney's plus 17. He's got a good point cushion. Denny Hamlin plus 9, Kyle Busch plus 8, Chase Elliott minus 8, Brad minus 15, Martin Truex minus 22, and Joey minus 43. Joey and Truex sit at the bottom because they had an accident. Joey was the first to go with an engine blown, and then Martin Truex Jr. in the wall. So that, of course, they got a little bit of a makeup to do. I think in this situation, those 2 guys right there might have to be in a must-win situation at Kansas or Martinsville. The good news is for them, both of them are extremely good at Martinsville. You guys remember the beef that took place between these 2 guys at short track racing in Martinsville. So hey, we shall see what happens. Brad Keselowski minus 15. I feel like he does need to win. But if something happens to these drivers, if they wreck or they accident, he can move on. Minus 15, it's doable. And then Chase Elliott minus 8, he's right there. I mean, he could easily kind of come back and forth from the top of the line to the bubble. So yeah, we shall see. I don't know. I feel like somebody down here is going to win a race in the next 2 weeks, and they're going to get in. I don't know if it'll be at Martinsville, Kansas, but I feel like somebody out of this group here is going to find a way to win at Martinsville or Kansas. And then yeah, I just don't. It's hard because there's a lot of these are good drivers. I mean, these people have had a very good season. Of course, Kyle Larson's been the dominator outside Denny Hamlin, but you know, it's tough. It's really tough to make my picks for the championship four. I mean, I think I like Denny Hamlin to get in. He'd probably be the guy that I choose outside Larson. And I feel like I like Blaney too, just because he's been so consistent. He's very, very consistent on his top 5s and top 10s. I mean, at this point, he doesn't really even need to win. He can probably still get in without a win just because of his points and how he's finishing. So I think I like the top 3. Now, the last guy getting in, that could be Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, Brad Keselowski, Martin Truex Jr., or Joe Logano. I really feel like it could be any of those guys, depending on if they win or if they get in through points. So it really will be interesting, guys, to see what happens in the next couple of weeks. It's really starting to get dicey. We saw what happened with the wrecks at Texas, and it's probably just going to get more intense. Maybe somebody else has a beef that happens at Kansas or Martinsville. We've seen it happen before at short track racing, with Bristol. So it definitely can happen. It's just a matter of if it will or not. I mean, you see Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Busch, Joey Logano. I mean, Chase Elliott. Didn't he, man, these guys have gotten into it before. Brad Keselowski. I mean, it just, man, like, it's hard to tell, but I'm here for it. I'm a fan. My driver might be out of it, but I am such a fan of NASCAR. I'm going to be paying close attention, and going to be giving you guys details on Instagram at the Pit Stop channel. We're going to be still posting, and this is it, guys. This is the closing few weeks until the season is over. And I'm super excited to stay tuned at Kansas and Martinsville to see who's going to get that championship 4 slot. So you guys, please stay tuned. I will definitely be posting a podcast video for both those races. Hopefully, I just don't know when. Obviously, my schedule is crazy sometimes, and I can miss a week to week. But I'm going to try for Kansas, obviously this Sunday, and then Martinsville next Sunday, and then of course the Championship 4 will be racing at Phoenix. But thanks, guys, for tuning in to seeing the podcast video for this week. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you guys want to, talk about the Harvick Chase thing, leave a comment down below. And yeah, stay tuned on my Instagram channel at the Pit Stop channel. Go follow, subscribe to this channel, check out the content, and yeah, guys, just keep watching. It's getting close to the end here. Who's gonna win? But stay tuned, guys. Adios.